I want to turn and ask you both about how the President of the United States cancelled the meeting with Albanese at the G7 today. Now, you know, one of the things that Trump was going to put on the table was defence spending. It still kind of floors me, Cameron, that the Albanese government is paying 20% of students' HECS debt, yet won't increase our defence spending from less than 2% that it is now, just under 2%, while you've got Europe committing to 5%.
That's right. And look, we have to spend an awful lot more on defence because we're in a very uncertain time. And you only have to look to Israel to look for where you need to defend yourself against some of the really hostile people. Israel's done the right thing. They've actually got self-defence. They've actually invested in military capacity for their own self-defence. Australia's just relying on the US to come in. That's not good enough. I mean, we need to add an NDIS scheme a year to our defence budget. We need to add another $50 billion a year to even come up to the 3% margin, Sharri, which is still well below, as you say, the Europeans at 5%. So we're so far behind and we're expecting others to do the heavy lifting rather than a wealthy nation like ourselves actually spending enough to defend ourselves and actually have the armaments to self-defend.
Indeed. Andrew, what do you think it says about how the Trump administration and the president views Australia at the moment, that Albanese and Rudd can spend months working on trying to pull off a meeting and then it's just cancelled, you know, without a second thought at the last minute?
Well, we're at the back of the queue, aren't we? And it's not just the major partners that are getting meetings with Trump. It's Norway, it's Syria, it's Jordan, it's Argentina, it's Ireland. They all have had face-to-face meetings. We've had 8 months since Trump was elected, and yet we still don't have a face-to-face meeting. So it's not only embarrassing, but it reflects poorly on our diplomacy. But it already was a little embarrassing anyway. I mean, the Albanese meeting was the last meeting scheduled for Trump at the G7. The last meeting on the last day. The engines of Air Force One would have been warming as the two leaders met. I mean, the cleaners would have been packing up the chairs in the auditorium. We're the last cab off the rank. So that goes to show how they view us at the moment. And is it any wonder from their perspective when we continually push back on the demands of a partner and an ally that is trying to do the right thing in the world?
Exactly. Cameron Milne, as usual, you wrote an excellent column in The Nightly, and you make the point how out of step Albanese and Foreign Minister Penny Wong are with the values of our allies, how confused they are, and just completely at odds. And this is part of the problem, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, our foreign policy under Wong has lurched to the left. Albanese acquiesces when it comes to Israel, when it acquiesces when it comes to, you know, Islamic extremism in Australia. But the worst thing, Sharri, is the anti-Semitism on Albo's watch. It is appalling. It's the worst I've seen in my lifetime, Sharri. And it's on Albo's watch, and he's done nothing about it. And yet we have Israel under attack from Iran, the US there protecting, the Israelis on the ground as well. And our Prime Minister is there allowing synagogues to burn, cars to be firebombed, restaurants to be graffitied. I mean, on Albo's watch, the Jewish community in Australia is so much less safe than it used to be. And that's what President Trump and the rest of the world sees Australia doing under Albo's watch, is that Jewish Australians are under more threat and anti-Semitism is boiling over in this country.